Assalamu alaikum. I'm Malik Hodge, an angel warrior of the Midwest, and a messenger of the covenant, representing the messenger of the covenant, the breaker of the seven seals, the self-taught one, Master Suleiman, who has given us the Injil, the Gospel of Revelations, with the Injil key that gives us the understanding of the unsealed scriptures. This is August the 2nd, 2022. This is Up Late Update with Malik Hodge, where we take current events and give the understanding of them from the Injil, the unsealed scriptures perspective, and give you the understanding of how each topic or each current event pertains to what's taking place in our world today from the perspective of the scriptures standpoint, the unsealed scriptures standpoint. So, let us begin. Today has been a voting day in parts of America. So people have been out voting today on different issues. And one of the biggest things on the ballots is the abortion law that the Supreme Court has turned over, the Roe vs. Wade, and a lot of cities are had that on their ballots to per state. Per state to vote on whether or not the state will vote yes or no on abortion laws. So the abortions are still going to take place or happen in certain states. They're still going to allow them. However, when you're looking at that from an angel perspective or the unsealed perspective, scripture's perspective, just goes to show you that this country that makes its claims onto being a country under God may be up under God, but what God is this country up under? It's not. It's definitely nothing righteous. Um, if it's not abortion, then it's same-sex marriage. It's countless things that are against any righteousness or anything of the opposite of what the actions of righteousness are. However, that's one of the big things that is taking place in the voting. It's also was it the House or the Senate voted in a health plan for, what was it, get the numbers that they voted in to assist in favor of veterans that have caught diseases and found themselves sick from things in the going to war in Afghanistan and Iraq. So a victory, what they said was it was a victory for the veterans, and they I think it was 20, forget how many million, but it was several, was it billion? It was a lot of money. Okay, let's move to our next topic. Let's get that. Alright. Alright. Our next topic is, we just gonna get right with it, because it the topic that everyone is speaking about, Pelosi's trip to Taiwan. So what does this trip, what does this trip mean? But the U.S. is looking at this trip that Nancy Pelosi took to Taiwan, and they're saying, what is the big deal? Why is China making this big deal, or why they're being upset, while they're pushing to why they're being so agitated about this vision. And this is what the U.S. is saying, and the U.S. says they're standing with China on this one nation, one ruler aspect of the Chinese government. And at the same time, they're saying, well, they're with Taiwan and they stand with Taiwan and back Taiwan independence and their democracy. So if you're with their independence and democracy, how are you doing? How is that the case when the U.S. is stating that they're with China, Beijing being the head of China, and they're with this idea of the one rule, one all, that one ruler over all of China, and that Beijing is over all of China, and Taiwanese or Taiwan is part of China. But you're saying that you are supporting it. It can't be both ways. It just can't be. But then they pose and act like they don't have enough thinking power to understand why China's upset. Why all these things may roll out because of this meeting. Because they act like they don't see this is undermining and make it severely hard for China to maintain their power and to keep unity in their region and to unify their country, because America is pushing on the door of separation and stating that they're backing this separation. So this why China's up hot. These people are out of their mind. America's sick. So, Chinese military launched series of targeted ops near Taiwan amid Pelosi's visit, including air and sea exercises. Pelosi expected to meet with Taiwan's president and parliament in just hours as China condemns visit. China Foreign Ministry spokesman calls Pelosi's stop in Taiwan a serious violation of the One China principle. A serious violation to the One China principle. So if you're coming and you're going to go to China to speak with someone, you're supposed to be going to speak with Beijing. If it's one China, this be up under this One China principle. But they're saying that it's a serious violation to the One China principle that will have a severe impact on political foundation of China relationship with the U.S. Pelosi said, in the face of the Chinese Communist Party, a accelerating aggression or congressional delegation's vision should be seen as an unequal vocal statement that America stands with Taiwan, our Democratic Party, our Democratic partner, as it defends itself and its freedom. So they're Democratic. So you listening on. She says she's there to show support for Taiwan's democracy and democratic freedom. But America shares it there in compliance with this one China what's it called? The one China principle. So they want to act like they don't know what's taking place or what they're doing. However, it was stated by the president of China that you're playing with fire, you will get burned. China has now suspended imports of 2,066 Taiwan food supplies. They'll be doing carrying out war drills till Friday. And listening on, because sometimes, well, the majority of the time, when you see this, and or who's pushing for war? Who's pushing this for war? Will America be going to war to back up Taiwan? Are they ready to defend Taiwan if China attacks them? No. So why is Nancy Pelosi even in Taiwan? You know, they said her husband has several hundred million, and they're invested into the chips that Taiwan produces. And America is providing Taiwan also with weapons. So Taiwan buys their weapons from America, and America also has well, I don't know if they still have soldiers there right now. However, they do sell arms to Taiwan. Now, what's the big deal when you're causing you're leading an uprising in a country that is trying to unify itself up under this one China rule, and then you come and tell them that you're backing them. At the same time, you're telling them, no, we are in compliance with the one China rule, but Nancy Pelosi is talking about she backing Taiwan, or Americans backing Taiwan, as well as being a democratic partner and assisting them in their fight for freedom. So either, you know, they're retarded, or, you know, they're trying to keep this war started. You know, so whichever way it is, the dirt has already been done. It's all the wrong has already been done now. Whatever, but it's gonna, the repercussion of it is gonna happen, and they don't see it. And China has stated that this act will, what's the word? Will have a severe impact. A severe impact with the relations from China to America. They're upset, and Xi shared that China is not taking this lightly. They mean every word that they say. Now, just because the way you expected them to move They didn't do exactly what you expected, but you don't know what's in the minds. But they mean, they mean that this is going to cost America dearly. So, looking at it from the angel aspect, the unsealed scripture, knowing that China is going, they have the capabilities to produce an army that America has never seen. They're going to produce a 200 million man army. America is pushing on Russia, pushing and made that war kick off in the Ukraine. Now, they're funding the Ukraine, but they don't have any soldiers on the ground. And is this what they're attempting to do in Taiwan? Have China attack Taiwan? And is America ready to respond to war? So to send, and then the real thing, another thing to look at is, you know, with all that's going on in the world, what's all that's going on with inside and around and outside of America that has influence, and you can see what's taking place with America today. If China would have shot Nancy Pelosi's plane out the air, then it would have been Chinese. China did this. We don't know why they did it, but they told you don't come over there. Don't come. So when you're dealing with America, you just gotta anything they do, you just gotta just look, because they act like they don't never know why something happened. Oh, we don't know why you're getting upset. We just told you don't bring your butt in our country and don't go over there and do that. But you don't know why we upset. You know, things that, who comes inside of America and tell them something and goes, if it was, I mean, just think of the things that they do, that they act like they act stupid, like they don't know what they doing. Because that's what America is about. Divide, conquer, cause war, and just causing war so they can supply them. America is supplying the war, all the war proxies over in the 20, what? They didn't put 23 billion. Hold up, is it 23 billion? Let me look at my numbers. I know it's 23. Maybe it's 23. It's 23. They put a lot of money. That's 23 billion because that was 2.5 billion. Yes, $23 billion has spent on the Ukraine war. Supplying them with arms. So they're always trying to find a way to push their agenda, and then act like they don't know why the war. Why we don't know why Russia attacked them. We don't know why Russia attacked Ukraine, but America spent all this money and gave the president of Ukraine X, Y, and Z amounts of money, and NATO kept pushing and pushing and trying to get Ukraine into NATO, and like they're going to set nuclear weapons and things on Russia's border. Now they're sitting up here acting like they don't know why China's mad because Nancy Pelosi's going to speak to Taiwan, causing division in their country that they're already having a problem with. So we'll see what the fallout is from this. We know what it is. That when China crosses that sea, and that's what's coming. That is exactly what's coming. China is going to come across the water, and America is going to get it. China's going to bring it to America. It's just that's the bottom line. While America just thinks the things that they do, they just act like, we can do what we want to do. But we'll soon see the effect of what was done today by Nancy Pelosi. And another thing is the American people, were they ready for a war? Was they ready to see World War III? Because I know they or didn't even pay no attention. If it caused, and knowing that is going to be some repercussion, major repercussion, over what? What really was accomplished? She says she went to reinsure America's is riding with our is backing them and backing their ally, and then none of it makes sense. So we'll see. That is the most talked about report or most talked about thing that happened today around the world. Everybody has been keying in on this. Every news outlet. I mean, everyone. I mean, because it could have triggered a war. A war could have been triggered today. So, I mean, there was nothing spoke about today more pronounced than this trip and how China's really taking it. China has been blowing off weapons. They've been crossing. They have been employing fighter planes and just encircled Taiwan, showing all their power, showing how they can just blow them off the map if they wanted to. And Nancy Pelosi and Americans like they're just bluffing. They get upset. We'll send them on. They'll be all right tomorrow. Just real arrogant and ignorant to deal with, how American people, the people in America, because they'll soon see what's really taking place. They will soon see that they're going to have to deal with China very soon and very soon, before when they figure out what's really going on. It's going to be far too late. Let me move on, because let me check our time. Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Alright, our next our next topic was the weather. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me, alright, we can go to another one. We'll go to another one. Alright, the weather. Take this. August marks the final full month of summer. And this year looks like there will be a sweltering conclusion for many in the lower 48, especially east of the Rockies. Temperatures are forecasted to be the most above average in August for the vast area that stretches from the plains to the Midwest into portions of the Northeast, according to the latest updates from the weather community. And IBM Business and atmospheric G2, the forecast has trended hotter for a more expansive area around in those regions when compared to the initial outlook issued early in the month. The combination of a strong euphoria based state, historically strong, persistent, and ongoing building drought across the western central U.S. suggests a hot August is a slam dunk. So Todd Crawford, director of meteorology at Atmosphere G2, most other locations, including the coastal southeast and much of the west coast, are forecast to see temperatures near or slightly above average. Only a sliver of the desert southwest might be slightly the average, then slightly than average, due to monsoon thunderstorm, cooler than average due to monsoon thunderstorms activity holding temperatures down. So, okay, a shift in the large-scale weather pattern will help bring in this hot pattern east of the Rockies right as the month begins. July ended with a dome of high pressure bringing in prolonged heat wave to the northwest. Meanwhile, parts of the northern plains, upper Midwest, and Great Lakes have seen temperatures that are relatively tolerable for midsummer because of the southward plunge of the jet stream. That setup will completely flip in August first week and allow expansive high pressure to bring heat back to much of the central and eastern states. So the weather, they're expecting the weather floods out in the west, in Las Vegas, due to monsoon rain. And it was a slight break in the temperatures, probably a week, I'd say about a couple weeks, throughout the Midwest, due to the low jet stream coming through that caused major storms and flooding that Kentucky is still trying, dealing with. They're still finding more deceased, and they have hundreds of missing people. So Kentucky is still dealing with that. They just pulled out from a second wave of flooding, of rain, torrential rains that were causing the flooding. Stopped yesterday or last night. So they're expecting now, this last month of summer, that weather will be higher than usual, and they can see it now from the start of the month, that they expect that due to the pressure, the higher pressure, they're expecting a lot of heat throughout the Midwest and southern states. And just the last 2 days in the Midwest, they've been pushing 100 degrees in the daytime. It's like 91 now at 11 something at night. So the weather is still causing havoc throughout the country, and just something to keep an eye on, because like you said, we're still in the last month of summer, and the still hitting 100-degree weather. So, and they're expecting it to be like this. So, just keeping looking at it from the perspective of the NGL, that drought, heat, humidity, you go from drought, heat, humidity, and thunderstorm, wildfires. It's still so much going on. Didn't speak about the wildfires, but the wildfires are still uncontained, still at 1% containment in California, and going through Oregon, in parts of Oregon, and the wildfire is still just rolling and rolling. So, and it's, it's not been contained. So that's also going on. And like I said, that Kentucky is still trying to recover from floods. But from the angel perspective, this is exactly what the scriptures shared that will be taking place. That there won't be a break. You won't be able to find a break in the weather. It's either hot, extremely hot, it's either tornadoes or storms. Can't even forget about mudslides, earthquakes, all types of things is subject to take place here in America and around the world, because unprecedented things, unprecedented trouble, unprecedented weather, and that's what's taking place. So we're gonna do our overview and bring this segment to a close. We got to start off with first. Let's just recall the Chinese, the Pelosi in the Pelosi trip in Taiwan, and its reaction is going to cause the the goat that will cross the sea and hit the ram head on. So what's taking place? This is in scripture saying it tells you that that China is going to be after this abomination of desolation, and after the War of Armageddon, China will soon be a the power is going to shift, and China will be one of the world powers, and that China is going to eventually attack and touch the soils of America, bringing an army of 200 million men on America that is going to bring America to its knees. So when you see and hear what China is saying, best believe that this is just adding fuel to the fire, that America is just pouring fuel to on the fire of countries wanting to take her down. So with that, that's from the NGO perspective, letting you know what's going to take place eventually with China and America. So they want to keep playing games and like they don't know what's taking place. They know what they're doing. The weather, it's being persistent and doing what is the weather's being persistent in with its destruction, because that's what it's doing. I mean, either it's hot, killing, the heat is humid, it's causing extreme weather patterns, those up and downs, those jet streams, that cold air mixing with that hot air. It's just, it's causing it's a recipe for extreme weather, heat, and flooding, storms. So just keep your eye on that, because that's also something that is going to persist from the Indian perspective, from the unsealed scriptures, that extreme weather patterns is going to persist in this time. Is what's written. It's assisting in the destruction of this nation. So that's that on the weather from the Indian perspective. What else? There was another topic we hit. I didn't write it down. What was it? Okay. And I think that's gonna bring, I'm looking, let me make sure And well, before we leave, let me. We are in the time of this JCPOA. Which is the going to be the spark to the war in the Middle East, the spark to the war in heaven between Michael and his angels, which is Master Farad Muhammad, and his angels is Iran and Syria. And they're going to go to war with the dragon and his angels. The dragon is the house of Saudi Arabia. His angels are Britain and America and false Israel, along with those 6 other Sunni nations that have made an alliance with false Israel and the beast and the dragon with up under this Abraham Accord. So they all have this common interest of Iran being an enemy and the black man and woman of America being the true seed of Abraham. So their entry, this Abraham Accord, is against the true seed of Abraham. So this is what is taking place from Scripture's standpoint, from an angel perspective. This JCPOA will not be returned into by Iran. They will not allow the nations to rule over them again. Master Farad Muhammad, their what is it, 12th email will be showing up very soon, and Master Farad Muhammad and Iran and Syria will be going to war, and they're going to take out Saudi Arabia. They're going to kick Britain and America out the Middle East, and they're going to take down false Israel and siege. They're going to siege false Israel and then destroy it. And they're going to also take out those nations that made an alliance with Satan and this beast and the dragon as well. So when you see this, that will be the abomination of desolation. And it says, when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, know that its destruction is nigh. So that's the abomination of desolation, which will be the shock of the hour, because when this takes place, it's going to shock the world when they see Britain and America kicked out the Middle East, when they see the house of Saud taken down, when they see false Israel sieged and then destroy. It's going to shock the world, and all of the smoke is going to clear from the eyes of the people around the world on the truth of who the true seed of Abraham really is. So the world will see the true seed of Abraham is the black man and woman of America. However, that shock of the hour is going to cause a full out attack on the black man and woman to by this nation, by America. And they're going to attack all blacks because they are going to be upset, and they're going to know exactly what's taking place and that what this means for them. Their civilization is going down, and our civilization, our vision is being brought in, and we're going to unite, and that unity is going to keep us safe. So we'll be uniting with all blacks has to come together and move to Chicago, Detroit, and Indiana. However, make sure. And that'd be the shock of the hour. Just know that this is what's taking place from an Angel perspective. This is where we're at. We're at the JCPOA, and they're not returning back. So we're any day we're expecting that we will see war between Iran and Syria, Michael, Iran and Syria against the Dragon, Britain and America, and false Israel, and these other 6 nations that the Dragon and his angels, that will be the shock of the hour. So we always keeping us in tune with what's taking place, where we at in time, and this is it for me tonight. Update August 2nd, 2022, and I'm gonna greet you as I came in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum.